Dr. Kevin Rydwick. With me is my colleague, Mr. Laxman Gowda. And we are researchers at the Zaban Group at Bar-Ilan University. We would like to take a moment to explain to you the purpose of our research before giving a brief overview of how we perform it. The focus of our research is to discover new materials suitable for the development of low-cost solar cells. The motivation for this research is to develop solar cell technology and ultimately reduce the cost of solar energy and make it comparable in price to fossil fuels. This will promote governments and companies to make the change from fossil fuel to solar energy and reduce pollution by switching to renewable energy sources.
The solar cells we investigate are based on thin film technology, which uses several layers of carefully chosen materials, each with their own function, to produce a device with an overall specific function. Each layer is typically grown on a 7 cm by 7 cm glass, as shown here, and the layers are each grown to be between 10 to about 1,000 nanometers thick. To put this in perspective, a nanometer is a billionth of a meter, which is the same ratio as the diameter of a marble compared to the size of the Earth. The design of the solar cells we fabricate are based on the common diode and include either a PN junction, shown here, or a PIN junction, in which two materials are brought together with very different electronic properties to induce an internal electric field. When these materials absorb light, they're able to separate out optically excited electron hole pairs and produce currents that move in opposite direction throughout the materials. While this is a simple description of how it works, typically to improve the efficiency, each current is then passed through a different layer that allows one current of each type to pass, blocking the other one, as shown here. The currents are then passed through their respective contacts, creating a useful current. Our solar cells are fabricated using a bottom-up approach, starting with a glass substrate with a transparent conductive layer. We then deposit each layer successively. We utilize a range of different deposition techniques, each with their own relative merits. These include two vacuum techniques, pulse laser deposition and RF sputtering, which typically provide high-quality films, and two low-cost methods, spray pyrolysis and spin coating, which is suitable for upscaling. Utilizing these methods, we can grow films with a spatially varying thickness and or chemical composition. This means that each point of our sample is unique. For example, the sample shown here was grown in the PLD from two different source targets, copper oxide and magnesium oxide. It was grown that the copper oxide would be richest at the top, while the magnesium oxide would be richest at the bottom, and there would be a constant chemical gradient running between the two samples. Here we can see clearly that there is a change in the color throughout this layer. This may greatly affect the amount of light absorbed by any solar cells made from this material, and therefore affect the overall efficiency of these cells. Once a single or multiple layers are grown, we characterize the various physical properties of the material or device that are relevant to the solar cell performance in 169 points on a 13 by 13 grid. Here you can see a fraction of the many scanners that we have available to us. The optical scanner, the electrical resistivity scanner, the IV scanner, which measures the overall solar cell performance of complete devices, and finally the X-ray diffractometer that provides insight into the atomic crystal structure of the various layers. We then correlate all the experimental results from each of the scanners at each point of the sample with one another in order to identify trends in the data very rapidly. Any new material combinations that may have proven to be effective can be investigated in more detail with additional scanners that use a more conventional approach. This is just a brief summary of some of the research activities in the Zaban laboratory. If you'd like more information, please visit our website, zabanlab.com. Thank you for your attention.